What's up, peeps? Crypto Enigma here. Welcome back to the channel, baby. Yeah. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you read that title correctly. Today, I will be showing y'all how to cheese the furnace golems in Elden Ring. Now, before I begin, I want to quickly preface this by saying this is certainly not the most efficient way to do this. In fact, it's really long and drawn out and will require a lot of magic and resources, but it is fun to do. You will be perfectly safe doing this. And I am calling this a cheese method because it basically is, as you are about to see, as you won't be taking any damage technically. And again, this is an alternative way to beat these golems if you happen to be struggling with the normal way to beat them. But with that being said, let's get it. Now, in order to pull this off, I will be using the Falling Star Beast Jaw for the ability that comes with the sword. However, you can really use your own ranged weapon of choice, as you are about to see. Furthermore, I am using the Arrow Sting Talisman in order to make this method more efficient. And lastly, in my Wondrous Physic, I am using the Stone Barb Cracked Tear and the Thorny Cracked Tear. Having said that, in order to pull this off, what we will be doing is taking advantage of the environment. And so what we're going to do is walk towards the furnace golem, making sure that you grab its attention. Upon doing that, what you want to do is run behind this concrete tombstone here. And so this is mainly what we're going to be using in order to pull this cheese off. And basically all you're going to do is run around the tomb, keeping the golem on the opposite side. And that's literally it. Like literally just run around the tomb, wrap around it as he's trying to get you, and attack him as you're doing this. As you can see, one thing to keep in mind, you will have to time your jumps in order to avoid this attack here, but that's really it. All you need to do is know how to avoid that attack. As you can see there, he just kicked the rocks at me, and the tomb completely protects you. There's literally, like, you will literally take 0 damage doing this as long as you can time your jumps right. And I'm just gonna let this clip play out. I will be commenting occasionally to get some points across, but it's really just this simple. You can see me here avoiding that stomp attack. And as I was saying, I was using the Falling Star Beast Jaw, but you can really just go ahead and use any ranged weapon of choice. You saw I was just using a crossbow. I'm using magic here to shoot at his face. I will say, shooting at his face does deal damage, but it does not stagger the enemy, so I do not recommend you damaging the face. Just kind of aim towards the legs, try to get them to stagger, or try to break their poise 3 times in order to make them stagger. That is how you beat these things. And so again, just kind of stay at a safe distance and literally just attack him. Now, if you're doing this, you want to position yourself in a way where you have clear sight of one of his legs and the other leg is behind the tomb. As you see me here, this gives you just a clear shot at least one of his legs. And again, just spam an attack and avoid those jumps that he does. And really, that's all you're going to be doing. You can see here, that is why you want to stand in the manner that I just explained. And again, I'm just gonna let the rest of this clip play out. You see that I was able to stagger him, and actually I'm trying something here that I was told was possible, which is throwing hefty pots at his head once they're staggered. But as you see there, it didn't work for some reason, and I'm going to make another note of that at the end of this clip here. But for now, I'm just gonna let this play out, and again, just continue the attack until you eventually subdue the golem. That is why you want to stand behind the tomb in the manner that I explained. But with that done, you can see here, I staggered him again. He almost died from just me hitting his leg, as you saw. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's really that easy. Again, you will expend a lot of resources and magic if you're gonna do this, and the amount to which you will expend depends on your build and what you're using. But if you care to do this at all, then it is essentially a way to cheese the golems. Now, regarding the pots, on a different playthrough, I tested whether or not it was possible to damage them by throwing pots into their head while they were staggered. And as you can see here, for whatever reason, it just doesn't work. I am throwing hefty fire pots directly into his head. I've seen other people saying that they were able to do this, but for whatever reason, I was not able to get it to work. You saw there, it took 0 damage. So take that for what you will. Now I'm gonna go ahead to this next golem here, just to show you that this basically does work with all of them. You just have to examine the topography. You kind of have to look at your surroundings and kind of determine where would be the best place to do what you just saw me do with the previous golem. And so I'm gonna go ahead and try the same thing with this golem here. And what you would want to do with this one is get his attention by running in front of him, run down the river like you're seeing me do here. If you're going to try this, I would suggest that you kill that crab enemy there because he gets annoying. But all you're basically trying to do is lure the golem down the river to a very specific spot. That is why you want to kill the crab enemy. So once the golem has followed you far enough into the river, what you're going to want to do is take cover behind this little ledge here, this little wall here, while he's using these fireball attacks. As you can see, again, you are completely safe. This works just like the tomb you saw in the previous clip. And what you want to do is lure the golem, kind of stay along this wall here and just basically wait till the golem gets right at this cliff face here, and this is where we will be executing our cheese. So basically the same thing. As you can see here, by standing on this ledge, you are completely safe from the golem stomp attacks. You do occasionally want to watch out because when he throws those kicks at you, you can get hurt. You can see here too, he's doing like this, you know, that attack that he does with his hands. He can hurt you with that while you're standing on the ledge, so you do want to be careful while you're doing this. But basically stand on the ledge and again just spam an attack. Any ranged attack will work. And you can see that again, perfectly safe on that ledge. Occasionally that stomp does kind of land closer to the wall, and in those situations you can still get burned. So I still recommend jumping when he does the attacks, but for the most part you are completely safe on this ledge. As you can see, they're completely safe, and all I'm gonna do is just continue spamming this attack here. And you can see that I was able to stagger him there. Again, you see I'm completely safe on that ledge. And as I said before, you can use any ranged weapon. It doesn't have to be this sword. You just examine your build, see what you can do. But basically just stay up here until you stagger my boy, and then do what it do. He's about to do his fire attack here, but just before he was able to unleash it, I was able to stagger him. Run down when you do this, obviously, hit him in the face, and then run back up. Again, if he does that fire attack, just stand behind this wall. I recommend kind of standing in a way to kind of lure the balls towards you and then get closer to the wall to make sure that they all hit the cliffside. Again, just rinse and repeat until old boy is dead. And actually at this point in the battle, like, a lot of different things can happen, a lot of different situations can happen. Here I happen to run out of magic, so I just switched to my great bow, and again just continue the process. And so he's almost dead. Again, just I broke his poise one last time, actually staggered him. Again, the jars don't work, or at least not for I don't know what was going on, but they didn't work. And so as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, I staggered him again. This will be it. And that was that, ladies and gentlemen, the Furnace Golem cheese. If you happen to enjoy this video, then consider subscribing, as my next upload will be a cheese method for the armored golems, and that one is a fun one as well. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, if you made it to the end of this video, I absolutely appreciate you, and I cannot stress that enough. But for what it's worth, thank you for watching. And if you happen to enjoy this video, you may enjoy some of my other content as well, so do feel free to check that out if you so wish to. But again, with that being said, thank you for watching, and I love you, baby. Mwah.